Hi everyone, it's Alyssa here at the Township of Washington Library with our Fall Craft for Adults. We have a fall planter, these little tiny mini crates, and this cute little planter with some leaves and little mini pumpkins in here. So what you are getting in this kit is you are getting a plain wooden crate. It is unfinished wood. You are getting an assortment of all different sorts of fall leaves in different colors. A piece of floral foam. Everyone's foam is slightly different sizes, so yours may need to be cut down to fit into the crate. I'll show you how to do that. And different color pumpkins. These little mini foam pumpkins. The nice thing about these pumpkins is they are foam, so if you want to cut it in half, maybe you want to glue a piece of pumpkin right on the front of your planter or something, or just the way that you have your leaves nestled in your crate and you don't like the whole piece or it's not sitting right, you can use a box cutter and shave off a piece or cut it in half. We've done that before in other crafts here at the library. You'll also need a hot glue gun. You'll need some paint, a paintbrush, some water. I did not include any paints because everyone's decor is different. I just did sort of a blue-based grayish, it's a little bit more blue than gray, but I just mixed black, white, and a touch of blue to get this color because it pops really nicely with the orange leaves and the orange little pumpkin. And you can customize this however you would like to. You can write something on the front, you can glue leaves on the front, add extra acorns, flowers, mums, whatever it is that you want here in your little planter, but this kit is here to get you started, and I will show you just how easy it is to do it. Okay, so to get started, we're going to focus on our little planter here. I have just the one, and you can do whatever you would like to this. As always, when I give you these unfinished wood crafts, you can leave it like this, unfinished. You can stain it, paint it, do whatever you would like. I am going to experiment with painting mine. I have acrylic paints here, and I'm just going to experiment with, I usually do this, you've seen this in my videos, doing a watered down acrylic paint, so it's almost like a stain. And so I have black and white and a little bit of blue to make it more of a blue-based gray wash. I'm going to really water it down, getting a lot of water onto my sponge brush. So I haven't given you any paint because I don't know what color you're going to want to do. It may also depend on the color of your leaves and your pumpkins. But like I said, you can do a stain, you can do regular acrylic paint. I also even use sometimes in these videos a high quality watercolor paint that's actually a liquid, and I use that to give it a really good wash, and it shows all of the grain. So because this is kind of fall and we're kind of thinking like rustic farm, I want to see the wood grain. I don't want to cover it up completely, but you can also do something like just white, and then you can go in with watered down brown on a paper towel and rub it to get sort of a distressed farmy sort of look. You can do wax paints, you can do a wax rub, whatever you would like. This is all yours. So I'm just going to mix my black and white over here to get like a nice little gray, and then I'll put a little bit of blue in it. I thought about adding brown and doing a sort of a taupe kind of wash, but then I was thinking that I like a little bit of a cooler color. So you can see this sort of becomes more of a slate gray than a gray because I still want a little bit of color in there. But that's just me. You're going to paint it depending on where you're going to put it or what you like or what your leaf colors and pumpkin colors are going to look like. I just like a gray wash on these kinds of things, very neutral. And goes with wherever you're going to put it. So I'm going to just go ahead and add my water now. And then you come through with a paper towel and sort of rub it off. You can see some of the wood through. The more watered down your paint is, the better it will be, or you can just leave it opaque, whatever. But I like this look. And then remember, if you're using acrylic paint, sometimes it will dry a little differently than what you see when it's wet. It typically does dry darker, so let it dry completely and then decide if you want to change the color, add another coat, or whatever it is. You don't have to worry about making your inside so perfect because we are going to fill it with the floral foam and all of our goodies, but email me. And if you do ever decide to take out your floral foam and your goodies and repurpose it and have it just be a little crate, you do just want to make sure it's all done, right? But I'm not worrying so much about how the finish looks, you know, how I was rubbing the paint off and taking care with how the grain looked. On the outside, I don't mind so much on the inside. And then, you know, make sure to get your brush through the little slats so that you're covered all the way. I'm going to grab one of these bristle brushes. It'll be a little easier to get into the cracks, right? Because I can still see some wood through here. And then don't forget to wipe it down wherever you want to. And you'll see as it dries the wood, this unfinished wood does soak it up. So especially if it's very watered down, and even if it's not, no matter whether you're using it watered down or not, this unfinished wood will soak up the paint. So again, let it dry, see what it looks like, and then see, do I want more or less paint? Do I like, see, look, this, it really soaked it in, but it's just a nice little blue-based gray wash. And I like it that way. So it really depends how much water you have, how much it'll soak in, but it will still soak in some even without a lot of water. So just make sure you're checking for, you know, how you think you're going to like it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit. At first I'm kind of wondering, is it too blue for me? But then I remember that my pumpkin is orange, and these are opposites on the color wheel, so it's really going to make it pop, and I actually love that. But if you're using a different color pumpkin, you may not want that, or even if it's orange, you may want something that's less contrast and more complementary, but it even looks nice with the white one. But it depends on the color of the pumpkin that you have. So I'm going to let this dry. While I let this dry, I have my floral foam, which is taller than my crate. So I'm just taking, use an X-Acto knife, a box cutter, whatever it is that you have, and I'm going to score it so I know how deep to cut it off, which I've already done. I'm going to go ahead and slice through to bring this down to size. So now that will fit nicely in here. As this dries, I can see that the places where I did the in-between sort of left this little, it's just like an uneven color, so I'm going to go through, right? So that's what I'm saying, just take the time to let it dry because you'll see how the paint soaks through or not, and you may want to touch up or change something. Okay, this is pretty dry now, so I have plugged in my hot glue gun. Remember, if you don't have a hot glue gun, the library does have hot glue guns available for checkout. And I have my pumpkins. Everybody got different colors. You got 4, so you've got an assortment. You may have gotten 2 of one or all different. I don't think there were that many of the black ones, but everybody got different colors and shapes and sizes. So you can use however many you want. Same with the leaves. You got an assortment of colors. There's this sort of peachy orange, this nice burgundy, purple, and white. So you can do whatever you would like, whatever combination you would like. So I've got my hot glue gun. I have scissors. And so now this is up to you how you want to do it and how it's going to look. So you can use these plastic stems and poke them right into that floral foam. You can also pull off the leaves or grab the leaves and shove them into the corners. You can do a combination of all of the things. You can paint something or use a chalk pen or a paint pen to do some lettering on the front. You could even glue a leaf on the front. It's up to you however you would like to adorn this and make everything sit. I think for me, what I'm going to do first is get all of my leaves in place, and then I'll find places to nestle the pumpkins right on in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. First of all, I'm trying to figure out what color pumpkins I want to do. I think I'm going to do, I want to do orange and black. You all know me, right? I think this purple clashes a little too much with the blue, so I'm probably not going to do that. I might do instead the white, which has all these different tones, and the burgundy, or do I want to, see, you just kind of figure it out. I actually think for this blue color that I've done, I think the orange and the white look the best. Do I want to do a black pumpkin or a white? I'll do the white pumpkin. Right, so I think that this is going to be my color story here. I'm going to start by just cutting. If you have wire cutters, it's easier than the scissors because these are wire, so the scissor will work, but it is a little harder to do. So grab yourself some wire cutters if you have those instead. If you're having trouble cutting through and you don't have wire cutters, just get through it and then you can sort of bend it and snap it. The wire, again, it is strong, but it's kind of fragile, so once you kind of get in there with your scissor and get through that plastic coating and put a little nick in that wire, you'll be able to bend it and snap it off. If you don't like how wrinkled your leaves are from them being shipped and in the bag and whatnot, you can, if you have a steamer, use a steamer. If you need to cut your stems shorter as you're working, cut them shorter as you're working, no big deal. Change the angle. That's the nice thing about the floral foam and not using glue. You can just sort of do what you need to do. So, and then I'm going to put my pumpkins right on top. So now I'm going to sort of arrange my leaves how I want them to. So this, I like the way this looks here in the floral foam. Like that. And I'm going to, if I need to, right, I don't like how, see this one's sticking up and you can see the back of it. I don't really like that. I'm actually going to glue it to an adjacent leaf to keep it in the structure and size that I want. Just put it kind of down a little bit. And the hot glue works really well with these fabric floral pieces because it sort of goes between the layers and just keeps everything all together. This guy too. Okay, so that is my fall planter. You can glue your leaves on here. Like I said, you can sort of continue arranging it once things are glued into place the way you want. You can add some more filler in here. I think we've tossed around some extra leaves and mom's heads or whatever, but you can go and get any extra additional fall floral, or even if you have some acorns outside in your yard, pine cones, and put them in here. Like I said, you can use a paint pen to write something on here. You can do whatever you would like to sort of customize it for what your house looks like. But that is mine. That's how that works. And just arrange it however you would like. Make sure it's exactly what you want it to look like. And you're good. And that's it.